Now, let's dive deeper into our first topic, working capital management. Within this broad subject, we will shine a spotlight on three critical areas: receivables, payables, and inventories. These are the gears that keep the finance engine running smoothly. Let's roll up our sleeves and get to work. Let's talk about net working capital as it appears on your balance sheet. Net working capital is a critical financial indicator calculated as NWC equals current assets minus current liability. In simpler terms, you can think of it as NWC equals inventories plus receivables minus payables. But wait, there's more to the story. Other considerations in net working capital includes deferred revenue, payment received in advance, accrued costs, provisions, prepaid expenses, and more. These factors paint a comprehensive picture of your working capital health. Let's dig deeper into these financial intricacies. Let's compare two companies. On the left, we see Otis. On the right, Schindler. I've marked the money they have in their pockets, current assets, and the money they owe to others, current liability. The difference between current assets and current liability is net working capital. Now, let's explore a fundamental concept in working capital management, operating cycle. The operating cycle represents the time it takes for a company to convert its investments in current assets, like inventories and receivables, into cash flow through sales, then back into current assets through the payment of current liabilities, like payables. In essence, it's a journey from cash to cash through business activities like purchase to pay and order to cash. Understanding and optimizing your operating cycle is vital for effective working capital management. So, let's break it down and see how we can make this cycle work for us. This cycle encompasses a series of crucial financial steps, with variations depending on your industry, each impacting your company's working capital. Purchases from suppliers. It all starts here. Your company acquires goods or services from suppliers. This activity initiates the payables to suppliers, aligning with the agreed payment terms. Receiving inventory and services. Simultaneously, your company receives inventories or services from these suppliers. This marks the beginning of your inventory journey. Inventories. For typical business, this transition involves raw materials becoming work in progress and eventually finished goods ready for sale. In the construction industry, it's about navigating the various project phases from initiation to completion. Each phase contributes to the work in progress as you advance towards project completion. Sales activities involve the process of marketing and selling products or services to customers, ultimately resulting in the establishment of the contract. Receivables. When sales contracts are fulfilled and goods or services are delivered, your company records receivables from customers representing anticipated incoming payments. Collecting activities. The next phase is collecting from customers. Your company diligently follow up until payments are received. Supplier payments. Simultaneously, your company meets its payment obligations to suppliers, aligning with the payment terms. The dynamic flow from purchase to pay and order to cash create the operating cycle. It's a financial ballet that impacts your working capital at every step, and mastering it is crucial for effective working capital management. Next, let's unravel the operating cycle in a number of days. It is a critical metric in working capital management, often expressed as operating cycle equals days inventory outstanding, DIO, plus days sales outstanding, DSO, minus days payable outstanding, DPO. Now, what does this formula tell us? The operating cycle, when expressed in a number of days, quantifies the time it takes for your company to convert inventory into sales, DIO, collect revenue from customers, DSO, then offset these processes with supplier payments, DPO. It creates cash inflow and cash outflow. In simpler terms, it is a measure of how effectively your company manages its cash flow within a specific time frame. Understanding and fine-tuning this cycle can have a profound impact on your working capital health. For instance, if a company has 70 days DIO, 90 days DSO, and 60 days DPO, the net operating cycle is 100 days. The company needs to obtain short-term financing for this 100 days. Let's revisit the definitions. Days inventory outstanding, DIO. It reveals how long on average it takes for a company to sell its inventory. A lower DIO is often desirable, signifying efficient inventory turnover. Days sales outstanding, DSO. It measures the average time it takes to collect payments from customers. A shorter DSO indicates prompt payment collection. Days payable outstanding, DPO, it reflects the average time your company takes to pay suppliers. A longer DPO can be advantageous for managing cash flow. To gain a better understanding of where your company stands, let's look at the average operating cycles across different industries. By examining these metrics in relation to industry benchmarks, you can gain valuable insight into your working capital efficiency and identify areas for improvement. The longer it takes for a company to complete its business cycle, the more money it has tied up in working capital. Well, it's good to have a short cycle. There can be factors outside a company's control that make it hard to achieve this. There are a few considerations. The first one is nature of the business. For example, a supermarket may even get cash from sales before they have to pay suppliers, making their operating cycle negative. On the other hand, a construction company may have a long cycle because it takes a while to finish projects. Secondly, industry standards. If competitors in the same industry offer their customers a long time to pay, it can be tough to shorten the time your company takes to get paid without losing businesses. The third, supplier power. If a company tries to delay payment to suppliers, the supplier might start demanding immediate cash payments in the future, causing the time it takes to pay suppliers to go down to zero or even negative. To strengthen cash flow by optimizing working capital, let's explore strategies for inventories, receivables, and payables management. Inventory management. Leverage advanced technologies for real-time inventory and spare parts tracking. This enhances visibility and control over your inventory levels. Improve operational efficiencies through analytics and automations. Streamlining processes can reduce carrying costs and increase turnover. Explore consignment inventory options with suppliers. which can reduce upfront inventory costs and align payments with actual usage. Receivables management. Standardize and, where feasible, shorten credit terms for suppliers. This encourages quicker payment and accelerates cash inflow. Improve invoicing accuracy and the customer dispute resolution process. Timely and accurate invoicing reduces delays in receiving payments. Strengthen customer due diligence and credit review processes to minimize the risk of delayed or non-payment. Focus on collections. Increase your focus on collecting past due receivables, ensuring a steady stream of cash inflow. Payables management. By standardizing payment terms and extending them where possible, you can align your cash outflows with your cash inflows more effectively. Shortening supplier lead times helps in faster inventory turnover, which can reduce the amount of cash tied up in inventory. But remember, working capital isn't just about liquidity. It's also about harnessing its power for profitability. By strategically utilizing higher working capital, companies can seize growth opportunities. Access to sufficient working capital allows companies to invest in growth initiatives, such as expanding product lines, entering new markets, or acquiring competitors. Negotiate supplier discounts. Having cash on hand enables businesses to negotiate better terms with suppliers, potentially leading to cost savings and improved profit margins. Meet seasonal demands. For businesses with seasonal fluctuations, working capital ensures they can meet increased demand without cash flow constraints. For receivables, offer longer credit terms to customers against higher price. Take advantage of early payment discounts. Some suppliers offer discounts for early payments. Having working capital allows companies to take advantage of these opportunities. In lower interest rate environment, companies can borrow more money. Strategically, managing and deploying working capital can not only enhance your company's financial stability, but also contribute significantly to its profitability. Leslie's quote resonates. Profit is not the same as cash, and managing working capital is key to turning profits into cash. It's a reminder that while profit is essential, effective working capital management is the bridge that transforms those profits into the lifeblood of your company, cash. As Mark Twain wisely said, the lack of money is the root of all evil. In other words, a shortage of money can lead to all sorts of troubles. So let's embark on this financial adventure, turning numbers into laughter and cash along the way. Thank you for your precious time. I'm Jennifer Liang. Start small and watch yourself grow.